Facebook ads is the holy grail of copywriting and marketing. So how to write Facebook ads that convert, sell like crazy, and scale your business for you or your clients. In this very short mini course, I'll share my best-selling Facebook ad structure that I've used to write Facebook ads for my own $500,000 language school. My name is Darius Lucas, and on this channel, we learn how to turn our words into cash flow. So grab your pens and notebooks and let's get started with the mini course. Okay, so in this mini course, you will learn high conversion Facebook ad structure. Then we'll look at 5 key elements that every Facebook ad should and must have. We will also look at why you need to sell the idea of transformation and change. After that, we'll look at why the best copy is nothing without a good creative. And then lastly, I will reveal something, and that is my secret weapon when it comes to crafting Facebook ads. And so for the purposes of this course, we will look at 2 Facebook ads that we are going to break down. So I picked one ad by Mindvalley, which is this self-development company. I've been looking up to them for a while. I think their founder is phenomenal, and I'm borrowing one of their ads. I hope they don't mind, because that is all in public domain. And we're just going to look at what they've done well, as well as we are going to look at my own ad where I was selling one of my journaling programs. So we start our breakdown by looking at 2 punchy and painful lines, or in other words, the hook. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 lines. It can be 3 lines or 4 lines, but the point is to be swift and quick and grab the attention of your reader, of the person who's scrolling, of the person who's your prospect. When we look at the Mindvalley ad, we have this line: most of us move through our lives on autopilot, going through motions without ever stopping to ask ourselves. So they start with this line: most of us move through our lives on autopilot. Okay, so they grab our attention with this idea that are you running the rat race? Are you lacking meaning? Are you lacking purpose? That's what this one sentence is implying. So what I'm trying to do is, as I said before, is to hook, to engage, to get to the pain point of my prospect. In my case, I'm doing something slightly different, and I am giving 5 names. Now, what I'm playing on, so it's not exactly painful, but it is punchy. So I named Richard Branson, Da Vinci, Tim Ferriss, Winston Churchill, Oprah Winfrey, right? So these names are recognizable. And as the person is scrolling through their feed on Facebook, they go, okay, well, I recognize these names. What is this dude talking about? In either of these cases, whether it is Mindvalley's example or mine, I think what we've done here is we've stopped the reader. We've tried to get the attention. And this is what you want to do with your first couple of lines in your ad. That's your hook. You have to be very particular, very precise, and you have to think about the prospect. As they scroll through Facebook, what types of words, what types of hooks, what types of sentences will grab their attention and will have them? What is on their mind? And this is exactly how you can grab their attention. Now, you've done that. You've grabbed your audience's attention. They are with you. What do they look at next? Immediately, our goal in section 2 is to get to breakthrough and to show them that breakthrough is possible. Now, what do I mean by that? We want to show that change, transformation, a sense of possibility is there for them. So remember how we had Mindvalley's example that said most of us move through our lives on autopilot? Then obviously we want to balance it out immediately and show the breakthrough. In Mindvalley's case, they go on to ask, is this how I want to live the rest of my life? Or is there more? So they are already proposing that there might be hope for the prospect. And then they go into a very good bullet list. Greater experiences I could have, deeper relationships I could build, more financial success I could have. So it immediately is giving this sense of breakthrough. Now, once I've listed all the names where people found some resonance with, and it was punchy enough to grab their attention, I curiously asked them, what do these people have in common? I'm immediately taking the reader somewhere. They all use their pens and journals to shape their successes. Now, what I'm implying here is that they shaped their success by using, obviously, journaling as a tool, and that is possible for you. And what I'm also doing psychologically is I'm saying that you could be like Oprah. You could be like Richard Branson. You could be like Da Vinci. I'm not making that sort of bold claim outright, but that's what I'm implying. So I'm implying that your life could be extraordinary. So this is quite important. You want to ask yourself when writing your ad, what is the breakthrough that I am promising? What is the transformation that I am delivering within my product, within my company, within my program that I am selling? Because that will help you really write the breakthrough. Because otherwise you might just think, okay, well, how will they change when they buy my, product? I don't know. But you should know. And this is exactly what's going to sell it. So once we had the punchy and painful opening, the hook, and we mapped out our breakthrough that showed to the person that they can make this leap, we want to then provide them with a solution how to get there. So it's not enough to say, well, you have this problem and the change is possible, but then give them no tools to achieve that change. So this is where the solution comes in. What Mindvalley does is they go, and it all starts with stepping off the treadmill and really getting clear on what a dream life looks like for you. Not just in one area, but all of them. Check out the short video to see how this 100+ page book completely transformed the founder of Mindvalley's life forever. And as you see, the solution is actually the product, the offer, the very thing that you are selling or wanting to sell through your ad. And in Mindvalley's case, that is their life design program, their live book. And in my ad, I go, want to learn how to build a thriving life through your journal. So I'm immediately leading on to the product and I go, join the Growth Journal membership to cultivate your journaling habit with live journal workshops every month. Netflix-like library of journal video guests, hundreds of journal frameworks to help you write through every aspect of your life. And lastly, community of global journalists. As you see what I've done, I've immediately introduced the entire program that I am selling. Well, with this particular ad, I'm retargeting a whole bunch of people who have watched one of my seminars previously, so they kind of know what I'm talking about, but they haven't heard of this program. And as you see, I've taken them on this journey throughout the ad. So I've introduced them to like these names that they know. I've asked what these people have in common, and I told them that that's kind of possible for you. And I asked them, do you want to live a thriving life just like Oprah, just like Richard Branson? Do you want that for yourself? Now, if you do, here is your solution. And I'm giving them the solution. Okay, friends, what's your biggest takeaway so far? Do not hesitate to drop it down in the comments below. Also, if you're liking this video, if you're getting value, click like, click subscribe, because there are many more videos coming your way. So let's continue with 4 more structural elements of a best-selling Facebook ad. Now we continue with the 4th element of your best-selling ad, and that is dream outcome for your prospect. Meaning that you've taken your client, your prospective client, on a journey within your ad. And as you opened with a challenge, a painful statement, or possibly a punchy hook, you want to round it up with a dream outcome, with showing them the life that they are after. So what Mindvalley does, they go and find out how you get clarity on your life vision and create a clear path to get there today. So as you see in that one sentence, they pack this idea of clarity, that you can get clarity on your life, which is likely that people who would have been interested in this product might have lacked, and that they would have created a clear path to get there right? So they kind of round with clarity and knowing, as opposed to living on autopilot, which they did at the start of the ad. So this contrast is super important. Now, what I've done, again, because I'm showing my ad, which is slightly less conventional in a sense that I've played with it a bit more than the structure, but I'm wanting to give it to you as well so you can see how you can reverse the elements and still have all the building blocks needed in the ad. So my dream outcome didn't come at the very end of the ad, but rather just before introducing the product. And I've read out this line to you earlier. Do you want to learn how to build a thriving life through your journal? So as you see, what I'm promising is this idea of building a thriving life, just like Oprah did, just like Richard Branson did. And it's all down to my tool, journaling. So when you get to outlining and mapping out this dream outcome for your client, you can be even more specific and take more time to describe it than I was or than Mindvalley was, because these two ads that I picked for the purpose of this mini course are very short. But a Facebook ad can be much longer than that if you wanted it to be, but you need to have these core elements. Otherwise, it won't work. You need to hit all the right spots in order for the ad to convert. So then we move on to call to action. This is where we explicitly ask them to do something, whether that is click learn more to watch now, or in my case, was ready, pick up your pen and sign up. Whichever way, you want to be very clear and give the direction as to what you want them to do. And whilst it may sound self-explanatory, and you might think to yourself, well, why should I even tell them to do something? Because it's obvious that there's a button to click. No, you actually want to tell them what action you want the person to take and be specific with it. Everything has to be mapped out, obviously, prior to writing the ad, and that will really help you write the whole ad. Meaning, if you already know what the breakthrough you are promising, if you described your product and what it was doing for the person, and if you described for yourself what was the dream outcome for your customer, like where will they get to as a result of your product, program, service, with those notes, it'd be very easy to write an ad like that. The only thing you'd need to come up with would be a hook, which would be punchy or painful line, and that's it. And then you have your call to action. And now we get to this other part, this other beast that we have to tame, and that is having a catchy creative. Whilst this particular course is obviously about crafting a copy, crafting your Facebook ad, let's still have a look as to what makes a catchy creative. In both of our cases, mine and Mindvalley's, we've used video. It was Mindvalley founder talking about his experience, and so he used the video creative with a nice sort of little thumbnail, the book I Live My Life By, which is sort of quite a nice statement. And in my case, I was having like a nice shot of myself here in this room saying living with purpose and integrity, and also kind of appealing to certain demographic with that. So it's very important not to leave your creative up to the gods of marketing and be very deliberate about what you put there. And now, how do you know what to actually put there? And I'm sure we'll discuss that in one of the future videos, but I would say you first, again, are thinking about your audience, who's your client, what will stop them, what will hook them as they're scrolling through Facebook. The first couple of lines and the creative are the two things that they are going to see, and that's going to get most of their attention, and that's going to determine whether they stay and read and click or not. And the last thing that you need to add is a clear headline. Your headline appears down at the bottom of your ad, and it has to be simple. It has to be clear. It has to say exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're offering. Make it clear, make it understandable, make it concise. Mindvalley's headline was design your dream life. What I did on my part, I did learn to journal like Oprah, Lady Gaga, and Da Vinci. So what I was thinking here, I was thinking of the names that the people would know, and they would go, okay, well, these amazing people journal, so okay, maybe I should sign up. So as you see, I was also very deliberate about the headline, and I was also calling them to action. As did Mindvalley. They said, design your dream life. It's a command, it's an invitation, right? So this is very powerful. Now I'm about to reveal my secret weapon when I sit down to write my Facebook ads. But before that, I just want to say that this particular structure is gold. And I literally built my entire business on using this ad structure. So be very deliberate about it. before you even start writing a Facebook ad, make sure to map out a few key points in your ad that you will mention, that you will cover, and only then move on to writing the actual ad. Okay, so now we've got all the elements, all the structural blocks of the ad that we need. The only thing that you have to do now is take the structure and start writing your ad. And I move on to my secret weapon. It's very simple, but it's very, very powerful. And that is Facebook Ads Library. Now, if you just type it into Google, Facebook Ads Library, it will come up. And this is where you can literally search any brand, any person that is running ads, and to see what types of ads they are running. And the best way to think about it is, who's your competitor, or who is your business most similar to? Who's the person that you look up to in your niche, in your industry? And look up these people, pull up their ads, and see and assess and break down what they are doing with their ads. Take the structure that we've broken down today and ask yourself, where in this ad is this person planting these structural elements from this video? Or maybe they are not. Then ask yourself why, and is this ad functioning? Is it well performing? And then ask yourself, which of the structural elements does this particular ad cover? Is this ad having a punchy start? Is this ad having a breakthrough moment? Is this ad giving me a solution? Is this ad promising a certain dream outcome? And if it is, how is it achieving that? Obviously, look at the creative, look at the headlines, and analyze. I can't even begin to tell you how many days I've spent on Facebook Ads Library, just browsing, reading, and learning what other people are doing in my industry. And this has been the best copywriting teacher that I've ever had, just looking at the examples of others. Okay, so this was a blast, and continue learning. There are a few more copywriting videos popping up. Make sure to click on them and continue learning and watching, because this channel is your resource, it's your gold mine to get the best and to elevate your copywriting to the next level.